All right. Whoa, that is so bright. Holy. All right, TikTok. We're gonna see if we get restricted or not today. We have NFL Week 16 to talk about. What a slate of games it was, chat. I'm very excited to dive in. Let's just hope TikTok, please do not ban me. Please do not. I'm going live on the phone today. There's no unoriginal content here. There's no unoriginal content, and TikTok likes to restrict my lives for unoriginal content. That's not going to happen today. We're locked in. Let's dive into all of these games. I haven't gone live on the phone before. I don't know how to add text up there. Let me just say that right now. We're working on it. We're adjusting. Let me just tell you one thing. The New England Patriots are the most fraudulent team in the NFL. They barely beat Snoop Huntley. And Drake May was electric down the stretch. There we go, JT. What's up? Drake May was electric down the stretch. There's no denying that. There's no denying that. In the fourth quarter, down 11 points, he was incredible. But it's not like he didn't have an interception. Act like he didn't put the ball on the ground, 29-6. Okay. Let's not act like Drake May was perfect for the first 3 quarters of that game. And the only time Drake May has shrunk so far this year, number one, LA Dodgers. Yeah, Dodgers are pretty good. Dodgers are pretty good. The only time Drake May has stunk so far this season was in the second half against the Falcons and the second half against the Bills. What do those two halves of football have in common? These teams got pressure on Drake May. If you get pressure on Drake May, I'm telling you, he's a completely different quarterback and he's going to shrink. And he's been good, like obviously, but let's hesitate to put him in a top 5 conversation. That's just what I don't understand. Devin, Drake May struggled a bit, but he did pretty well. Yeah, he did. Fine, he's good. Drake May's pretty good. That throw to Kyle Williams was electric. Kyle Williams, by the way, needs to see the field a whole lot more. That guy, every time the ball is targeted his way, he's unbelievable. How's Brady Cook? Brady Cook should never step foot on a football field again in his entire life. That guy sucks. I can't stand Brady Cook. Yo, how does it sound, JT? JT, how does it sound? Because I'm going live on my phone. I don't have my microphone, so I don't know how it sounds. Is the audio fine, JT? Talk to me here. Talk to me without hating. It sounds good? Okay, thank you. Yeah. But either way, like, do you trust the Patriots? Can the Packers make it past the wild card round? I don't think so. So here's my thing on the Packers. Last year, their roster now is worse than it was last year just because of injuries. And last year they got bounced in the first round. Plus, Jordan Love's concussed. They don't really have any elite playmakers they can rely on. I just don't know how much I can trust this Packers team without Micah Parsons. Yeah, I just don't trust them. And their secondary is not as good. Kevin Patullo gets too much hate. We'll see. Objectively he does because nobody should throw eggs at his house. There's a reason that Phillies – did you know that the illiteracy rate in the city of Philadelphia is like 60% from 18 and up? Like they can't read in Philadelphia. And that just makes so much sense when you consider how stupid that fan base is. Like, yeah, of course they can't read. But I think the Eagles are good. I would say the Eagles are the 3rd best team in the NFC right now. Can you watch the Pats game in the playoffs since the Jets won't be there? Yes, I'm going to watch the Pats in the playoffs. If the Patriots play a team like the Broncos in the first round, chill, bro. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm sorry, Jack. Yo, Jack, you caught a stray there. And I got to say, that's on me. But Eagles fans genuinely can't read. People from Philadelphia. Ryan Nealon back in the chat with the you can't read. This is what we live for. It's okay. You got to follow. Jack Finn with the follow. Thank you, bro. Absolute electric stuff there from Jack. Absolute electric. Absolute beautician there. Listen, TikTok hasn't restricted my live yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully they don't do that because I miss going live with the boys here. I log in and he's instantly shading the Eagles. John Schmidt, I'm not. I'm shading the city of Philadelphia and their citizens because it's a fact. They're illiterate. They can't read. They don't know how to read. And that's why Eagles fans, not you, John Schmidt, you're one of the good ones. Same with you, Jack. You got to start a podcast, man. You're electric. Jack, if that's sarcasm, then I don't appreciate it. I have a podcast, Fire Sports Takes Podcast. Go 49ers. I think the 49ers are one of the most overlooked teams in the AFC or in the NFC right now. It's how much do you trust this defense against a team like the Seahawks, like the Rams that have good defenses because they don't have a pass rush. The 49ers don't have a pass rush, but when they're healthy, first touchdown score tonight, give me Kyle Juszczyk on the first touchdown score tonight. Mayday. Yeah, Drake May look good last night. I don't know what to tell you. Drake May look good. I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach. Let's not act like he had an interception. Let's not act like he didn't have an interception and a fumble, though. Let's not act like he needed an 11-point comeback in the fourth quarter to beat Snoop Huntley. Let's not act like that. Hoping for the Raiders to win next week. That ball is flat. Yeah, I know it's flat. It's kind of like the Patriots balls they used all those years. Let's record a playoff prediction together. I'm down. Hopefully I don't get restricted on TikTok Live, though. I'm going live on my phone, not on my – I'm going live on the phone, not on the computer. Hopefully that makes a difference. But every time the live gets kind of going, I just get hit with a restricted for unoriginal content. And it just makes me sick to my stomach. Deflategate. Yeah, right here. This is it. This is actually the ball that Tom Brady and the New England Patriots used to beat the Indianapolis Colts back in the AFC Championship game. This is the ball. People rip on the Chiefs dynasty like they get all the help from the refs. They're cheaters. Like nobody likes the Chiefs dynasty. The Patriots cheated all the time, and just nobody seems to talk about that. The Patriots got calls by the refs all the time, and people know, and nobody wants to talk about it. Who are you rooting for the first pick? Raiders or Giants? Obviously matters for the Jets. Probably the Giants, so that the Jets can trade with the Giants. Because if the Raiders like Mendoza, and I think they're gonna like Mendoza because he models his game after Tom Brady. That's literally what he said. And Tom Brady's an owner. So Unc been going through being a Jets fan. I'm a Ravens fan. John had blown many games. My head coach. Yeah, the Ravens have the most like double-digit comebacks or double-digit. What am I saying? They have the most double-digit point. Like they've blown the most double-digit leads since 2020 in the NFL. Like John Harbaugh's got to go. Something's got to change in Philly for sure. Ravens and Lions window is now shut. I don't think the Lions window was ever open, quite frankly. FJT, Devin Anderson. We're going full government in the chat here. That's what we're doing. We're going full government. Did you see the horrific missed PI call? Yeah, I did. Booty got absolutely molested. I'm not. Oh, probably can't say that. This is why I'm banned. I got to lock in. Yo, fire Metcalf. Your opinion? Fine. Yeah, fine, Matt. He punched a fan in the face. DK Metcalf is the Steelers. The Steelers have won 3 games. The Steelers have won 3 games. You are a Jets fan. Please tell me you're not. I'm a Jets, Mets, and Nets fan. I think I genuinely have the worst experience out of a sports fan in the history of sports fans. Even if the Jets cheated, they wouldn't be anything. That's tough there, Cruising. That's tough there. You come into my chat to just roast me like that. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? I'm playing $5,000 to the first. Okay. Hey, you could be a Yankees fan. That's absolutely incorrect, Katie. Absolutely incorrect. I'd much rather be a Yankees fan than a Mets fan. It's just Yankees fans are so pretentious and arrogant. Like, it's unbelievable. The only thing cool about Yankee Stadium, too, is the area surrounding it. Give a parlay for tonight. I think the Niners cover. I think CMC gets in the end zone. I think Michael Pittman under receiving yards, Jonathan Taylor under rushing yards, because they're just going to sell out to stop the run, make Phillip Rivers beat us, and I don't think they can do that. I need Purdy to go off tonight. Listen, Brock Purdy might be the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. We act like he hasn't made the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship game when fully healthy, and then he got hurt in that NFC Championship game. And I understand the Shanahan system is unbelievably quarterback friendly. Like I'm not disputing that, but he is so underrated, especially what he can do off platform, off script. Like his ability to extend plays is so overlooked. Dude had an all-star team. Yeah, so does Jalen Hurts, and people talk about Jalen Hurts like he's God's gift to football. Like Brock Purdy's incredibly underrated, I think. Anyway. I think he's dope. You know who's the most overrated quarterback in the league right now? Drake May. Drake May's never beat a top 10 defense in the league. So does every quarterback that makes the Super Bowl. Not true. Patrick Mahomes made the Super Bowl with a defense that allowed 25 points per game in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes made the Super Bowl where his team led the NFL in drops. Such a hater. Of Drake May? Absolutely. It's my job, man. I have to do it. Agree on that take about me. Yeah. By the way, Jalen Hurts clears Brock Purdy. I didn't say he doesn't. Like I think they're equal as passers, but then Jalen Hurts gives you so much more with the legs. So obviously you lean Jalen Hurts there. I love the May Patriots cheer. Okay, we missed Sanchez. I don't know if I missed the Sanchez. We forget that team was loaded. That if we had an average quarterback, we win a Super Bowl. Mark Sanchez just stunk. They handed the ball off 200 times a game. The Jets suck. All right. That's just not chill. That's just not. You don't have to come in here and tell me the Jets suck. Grass is green, everybody. Thoughts on Brady Cook? He should never play in the NFL again after this season. That guy is genuinely garbage. Brady had a top 5 defense. It's top 10. Brady never won a Super Bowl without a top 10 defense. He's a tank commit. Yo, I love the Jets committing to the tank by continuously starting Brady Cook because that guy is horrible. Would you rather Dante Moore or Mendoza? At this very moment, Mendoza. But if you ask me, like these playoffs, we're gonna learn a lot. I'm not out on Ty Simpson completely yet. If he can start balling out in these playoffs, he balls out against Indiana. I'm not out on Ty Simpson completely. He had a tough stretch. Dante Moore needs to stay another year. Absolutely disagree. I absolutely disagree. I absolutely disagree. He's pretty gross, man. He's pretty gross. He's pretty gross. It wouldn't hurt him to stay another year, obviously, but he's pretty gross. We'll see. We'll see over these next few games. Actually, I don't absolutely disagree, John Schmidt. I'll take that back. We'll see over these next few games. What happens when they jump to the league? We know what happens when they jump to the league too early. I mean, I guess you can say that, but I think every quarterback's different. Like you can't just base it. What's up, Jacob? Jacob, bro. I haven't gotten restricted yet. I've been live for like 10 minutes. So we're on a good start here. We're on a good start. TikTok needs to get some people in here, but I'm happy to see Jacob in the chat. How do you think Ole Miss will do next year? Couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. College football is the hardest thing to predict, man. The NFL is hard to predict preseason. College football is way harder. Like think about Penn State and Clemson were in the top 3 preseason. Toot Arrington with the follow. Thank you, Toot. Absolute beautician dropping the follow there. Who gets the 1 seed in the NFC? The Niners, Seahawks, or Rams? How about them Bengals? Yeah. Hey, Joe Burrow was cooking, man. Joe Burrow was cooking. What up, Toot? I think the Rams are the best team. I don't know if they'll get the 1 seed. I'll have to look at their records. Your thoughts on the Jags? I don't think the Jags are underrated anymore. I thought they were underrated going into Sunday, but I mean, they're unbelievable. They've beaten the Chargers and the Broncos by a combined point difference of 42. That's the number 1 seed in the AFC. That's the number 5 seed in the AFC. So the best team in the conference, the best wild card team in the conference, and they beat them by a combined win margin of 42. Both of those teams. The Jaguars are for real. Trevor Lawrence is playing at an MVP level as well. So you got to tip your hat. You got to tip your hat to Jacksonville. And Liam Cohen just absolutely outcoached Sean Payton. It was really unbelievable. They put belt to ass at all 3 phases. If the Rams have a home playoff game, they are in trouble. You see that hospital ball to Pat Bryant? Yeah, brutal. Brutal. I think if Bo Nix doesn't put the ball on the ground either, I think on that exchange, I think they might come back. That was really the game. Bears still can get the 1 seed. Wire fans. Listen, here's a question for you, chat. I think the 2 best teams in the NFC are the Seahawks and the Rams. But then for the 3 and 4 spot, I think it's between the Bears and the Eagles. I trust the Eagles more in the playoffs. But the Bears beat the crap out of the Eagles a month ago, so it's hard to justify putting the Eagles over them. I'm having a hard time with my rankings here. So what do you guys think, chat? Who is the better team in the NFC right now, the Bears or the Eagles? The Bears can still get the number 1 seed. Yeah, they can. I mean, what are they, the 3 seed right now? I trust the Eagles more. I trust the Eagles more just because they're the defending Super Bowl champs. But you can't just discredit what the Bears did. Bears defense isn't great unless they get turnovers. Yeah, but they're getting turnovers. That's the thing. When the Bears played the Eagles, I was so sold on the Eagles beating the brakes off of them because the Eagles don't turn the ball over. Going into that game, the Eagles were last in the league in turnovers and giveaways. And then they turned them over a few times. So it's they just constantly create turnovers. My only concern with the Bears defense, because their secondary fully healthy, is unbelievable. Kevin Byard's playing at an all-pro level, and that guy's 33 or whatever. Jalen Johnson's the top 5 corner in the league. So the only concern with the Bears is their pass rush, because who's rush? Montez Sweat is average at best. So I don't know who's rushing the passer. The Bears have the number 2 seed. Yeah, man. I mean, who do they play the rest of the way? I know they play the Lions. Who do they play this week? I know they play the Lions. Rate my parlay. Niners -3.5. Rivers under 160. CMC longest run over 11.5. JT over 8. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, literally. Lions, 49ers. That's a tough schedule for the Bears. Yeah, let's be honest here. I think they can win. Those are 2 winnable games. And Caleb Williams has just gotten better and better each week. His confidence is at an all-time high right now. And I think Caleb Williams, Caleb Williams' second year in this Ben Johnson system, look the fuck out, bro. I think he's the second hardest quarterback to sack in the NFL behind Josh Allen. Look at that. That's fundamental football right there, by the way. I think he's the second hardest quarterback in the NFL to sack besides Josh Allen. And every week he's just getting more comfortable in the system, more comfortable in the pocket. And his confidence is just going and going. I think he's going to be elite. And he's so comfortable in a 2-minute drill as well that if he gets into these scenarios, where we see the best quarterbacks are just so clutch, like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, I think Caleb Williams, if he can just nail down on the nitty gritty, it's just, he misses guys randomly sometimes, but he's missing less guys on a weekly basis, I feel than he was in week 4. But if he can just nail down the easy stuff, the sky's the limit for him. I think he's going to be a real issue, man. He needs to get better. I agree. And it does help that his defense creates a lot of turnovers. Like, it does help that they have one of the best run games in the NFL as well. Monangai, by the way, is an absolute monster. And DeAndre Swift stays criminally underrated, guys. Like, that guy is a legitimate, like, top 10 back, I swear. He needs to get better at. I think DeAndre Swift, don't quote me on this, he might have averaged more yards per carry on the Eagles than Saquon did. I don't know if that's facts though. Monangai is better than Swift. That's not ridiculous. I just think Swift is more elusive. Like, he's better in open space. But if you want a guy going north-south, you're going to choose Monangai every time. I don't know if he's better than Swift though, Jacob. It's close. I think they're one of the best tandems in the NFL. Do the Jets trade up for a QB? It depends if Dante Moore declares. If Dante Moore declares, I'm so fine with the Jets either getting Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza. Like, I'm literally so fine either way. Breece Hall gone next season? I don't think so. Listen, the Jets. Listen, you guys can rip on the Jets all you want. They are a good landing spot for a rookie quarterback, especially if they re-sign Breece Hall, because they have a top 10, or they did have a top 10 run game. I don't know if that's still the case. They have an elite weapon in Garrett Wilson. They have two young offensive tackles they can build around. The interior of their offensive line is pretty solid as well. Like, they have good pieces. If they can just get a Fernando Mendoza, or if they can get a Dante Moore, then the offense, I think, is in a good spot. And we've seen that this offense can be productive if the quarterback play is at least average. That's the problem. It hasn't been close to average all year, basically, except when Tyrod Taylor's been in there. So the problem with the Jets is their defense, because I genuinely think they have the worst defense in the NFL. Them and the Browns are where careers go to die. That's tough. You don't have to come in here and bully me like that. Nightmare 090392. Do you think the combo will happen that JF needs to change positions to ATH? I'm so confused. Who's JF? I'm so confused. The Eagles are the Jake Paul of the NFL. That's just, come on. What are we doing here? The Eagles won the Super Bowl. Get y'all a QB and another stud wide receiver. I agree, man. Oh, Justin Fields. No, I think Justin Fields can be a good backup quarterback in this league for a long time. Like, think about it. The guy won games on Pittsburgh last year as the backup. Like, I think he's going to be a backup in this league for a long time, and he's just a good dude. And I think you got to be a pretty good dude to stay around in the NFL for a long time as a backup. Thank you, Robert, for the follow. Thank you, Robert. Absolute beautician dropping the follow there. Tyler Warren, beast. He was nasty. Tyler Warren might have a day today. We know Phillip Rivers loves his tight end. Shout out Antonio Gates, top 5 tight end of all time. He had a great 23 season with the Bears too. I don't know if I'd say it's great. What's up, bro? Saints fan, good game. Y'all middle linebacker was that who? Sherwood or Quincy Williams? Listen, Tyler Shough is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying this since the draft. I said that there's a legitimate chance he could be the number 2 prospect. I just didn't have the balls to do that. How shitty do you think it is to hear anyone call you a great backup quarterback? I don't know what can't be great. Good thing Justin Fields doesn't listen to me, but I think that's a compliment too. At the same time, like, Tim Boyle made a career stinking, like, not being good at football, just being Aaron Rodgers' backup. Jets another 3-14 season. Here we go. How many Super Bowls do the Bills have, buddy? How many Super Bowls do the Bills have? These Bills fans are so arrogant, like they've won anything in their entire history. They're literally the biggest joke of a franchise in all of sports. All of sports. What team goes to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and doesn't win a single one? Like, they act like they're the big bad team in the AFC East. Well, the Dolphins have a ring. Hey, the Jets might have the longest playoff drought in the NFL. You know who had the longest playoff drought before the Jets? It was the Buffalo Bills. Do you know who has a ring? The New York Jets. You know who doesn't have a ring? The Buffalo Bills. So I'm just saying, man. You get, like, these Bills fans are all tough and big and mighty. You don't have a ring. Buddy, the rage bait was that easy. Okay, who's your team? Apparently, Tuckathon doesn't have eyes here. Sorry, that's on me. That's just not nice. That's on me. That was unnecessary out of me there. That was unnecessary. Jets do butt. Sick, bro. Nice. Thanks for that. All right, let's talk this game tonight. I don't trust Phillip Rivers. The good thing about this game, though, is that, like, against the Seahawks, they have a good passer. So Phillip Rivers' health was in jeopardy. I don't think it's in jeopardy that much against the San Francisco 49ers team that just don't have a pass rush. Because if Phillip Rivers can stay on his feet, maybe he can be accurate 10 yards down the field. And if they can just operate in that middle area, then they'll be fine. It's just, I think the Niners are going to sell out to stop. The Niners are going to sell out to stop Jonathan Taylor, make Phillip Rivers beat you. I don't think Phillip Rivers can beat you. So I like the Jags. Not the Jags. I like the Niners to cover tonight. Y'all can add a good quarterback next season. I think so too. I like Mendoza, man. You're a Jets fan, but you have been irrelevant as a football team since Joe. That's incorrect. The Jets went to back-to-back AFC championship games in the early 2000s, in the early 2010s. So don't say we've been irrelevant for a long time, but since Joe Namath is absolutely incorrect. They made the AFC Championship in the 2000s too. Listen, there's not a team in the NFL that has a higher winning percentage in the Super Bowl than the New York Jets. That is a fact. That is called greatness. Fuck. That's just tough there. Sorry about your chat. Have a good stream. Thank you, bro. It's all good. Shout out Tyler Shuck, absolute beautician, man. Tyler's the most. Nobody's been a bigger victim of ageism than Tyler Shuck. That guy is a stud. That guy is a stud. Y'all been there one time. And we won. Listen, it doesn't matter how many times you get there. We have a 100% winning percentage in the Super Bowl. You think Tyler Warren will have a game relying on him for fantasy? I hope so. Chad, I need George Kittle to outscore Jonathan Taylor to move to the finals. Do I have a chance here? Do I have a chance? Tyler Warren could get 60 plus. I don't know. Jags are better. Jags are better than who? I think the Jags are the most underrated, like not anymore, but they were the most underrated team in the NFL. How does it feel watching your former quarterback go to the Super Bowl the season after he leaves? Who are you talking about? I need Tyler Warren to outscore Kittle. Oof. That's tough. That's tough. What does he talk about? A quarterback to go to the Super Bowl? Oh, A-Rod. Bro, the Steelers are not going to the Super Bowl, bro. Let's be honest here. A-Rod's looked good the past 3 games. He played the Dolphins and they played the Ravens. Both of those secondaries stink. Both of those teams have 0 pass rush. The Lions do have a pass rush, but their secondary also stinks. And Jared Goff didn't know how to play football for the first half of that game. The biggest fraud after this week got to be the Patriots. The Patriots needed an 11-point comeback in the fourth quarter to beat the Snoop Huntley-led Ravens. And the Ravens defense stinks. And they were able to shut down this Patriots offense for the first 3 quarters. It's just an absolute joke how everybody's on their knees for the Patriots when they don't have a win against a top 10 defense, and they only have 1 win against a top 15 defense. And their best win is the Bucs and the Panthers. Those are their best wins. And the Bills. And the Bills almost just lost to the Browns and Shedeur Sanders. The Bills' defense can't stop the run. The Bills' secondary is garbage. The Bills don't have a pass rush. Their defense stinks. This is the worst team Josh Allen has had since he's been in Buffalo. And they're still and the Patriots almost fumbled the division against. If JD5 was on the Saints yesterday, the Jets would have won. Not falling for the Jaden Daniels rage bait. And people are so quick to act like Jaden Daniels fell off. Jaden Daniels is cooked. Dude, he played 4 games from start to finish this year. How are we going to call it a sophomore slump? Jaden Daniels might have the best throw of the season as well to Luke McCaffrey at the end of the first half against the Chargers. That guy is better than Drake May. Drake May glaze is unbelievable. That guy's played nobody. And the 2 best pass rushes he played, the Falcons and the Bills, he got shut out in the fourth quarter. The Patriots needed Drake May to go and score a touchdown, go get some points 2 different times in the fourth quarter. And the Bills were getting pass rush on Drake May. He didn't get a first down. Clearly, you didn't see Jalen Hurts to Goddard on Saturday. Sorry, you're a Jets fan, bro. It's all good, Sam. It's all good. But listen, the Drake May is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL after he's played good for 12 weeks against not a single top 10 defense and only 1 top 15 defense, man. We'll see how he does against the Broncos. We'll see how he does against the Texans. We'll see how he does against the Chargers in the playoffs, and then we can start to talk. But to act like he's better than Jaden Daniels after 15 weeks is an absolute joke when Jaden Daniels had a worse roster to work with last year, and then he went in the NFC. He beat the number 1 seed on the road. He beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then he lost to the Super Bowl champs. So I don't know what we're talking about. Drake May better than Jaden Daniels, and he's done nothing in the playoffs yet. That fumble cost the Ravens. Yes, it did. I had 2 Jets tickets in my car. Someone broke in and left me 2 more tickets. Okay, that's tough there. But his midwife likes to bake. Bro, let's not talk about his wife, but you said it, not me, brother. Drake the schedule May, ladies and gentlemen. Drake, no first downs in the fourth quarter against the Buffalo Bills May. I'm not buying it. That throw to Kyle Williams was disgusting. But what does Drake May do better than Dak Prescott? Let's be honest here. What does Drake May do better than Dak Prescott? Let's be so for real. Throwing this guy in top 5 conversations already. He hasn't done a thing in this league. He hasn't done a single thing in this league. He has the highest completion percentage. Whoop-de-doo. Good for him. He hasn't played a top 10 defense all season long, man. So I'm done with the Drake May. I'm done with the Drake May glaze. Everybody on their knees for this guy. Drake May. What has Dak done? What has Drake May done? Dak led the league in passing 1 year. Dak was second in MVP voting 1 year. What has Drake May done? Absolutely nothing. He's gonna be second. He's gonna have a similar year to Dak's best season. That's what he's going to do this year. And he did it against 0 top 10 defenses. That's the thing. People are so quick to throw Drake May in these top 5 conversations because he's a new shiny toy. He's not better than Justin Herbert. He's not better than Jaden Daniels. Is he better than Jalen Hurts? It's his second year LMAO, do you expect him to have a great resume? I'm Trevor Lawrence over Drake May. That's a great take, Casey. That's a fantastic take, Casey. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to win MVP because of how he played. Like, the first half of the year does count. But over the last 5 games, he's thrown for like 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Dak been in the league a decade and has 2 playoff wins. Drake May has 0 playoff wins. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? I'm not a Dak guy. I'm not defending Dak Prescott. I'm not defending Dak Prescott. But, like, what does Drake May do better than Dak Prescott? Let me know. Let me know what he does better than Dak Prescott. Like, both of them stat pad against bad teams, and then against good teams when they need a win, when they could have clinched the division last week. Hurts Drake May. That's not crazy either. That's a Super Bowl MVP. And what do people glaze Drake May for? Is deep ball accuracy. Jalen Hurts is one of the best deep balls in football. Jalen Hurts is better with his legs than Drake May. Drake May's, like, the pocket presence is similar. I'll say this though: Jalen Hurts with pressure in his face, not as good as Drake May. That's the only problem. But yeah, I don't hate that take at all. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is MVP, but he's better than Drake May. I don't know about definitely better. I don't know about that, but I do like that take. I do like that take. I think the Patriots' schedule was do that. They didn't play a single top 10 defense. They played one top 15 defense, bro. People are freaking out because Drake May had a fourth quarter comeback against the Ravens, who have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They're 25th in pressure rate. They're 30th in sacks. And Snoop Huntley was playing. Like, if Lamar Jackson is healthy, the Ravens win that game. He was 7 for 10 for 100 yards. Not to mention the Patriots can't stop the run, man. They can't stop the run. And they lost to the Raiders. Those games matter. For some reason, we like to think those games don't count. Thank you for taking Fields off our hands. Bro, if you're a Steelers fan saying that, the Steelers literally offered Justin Fields a competitive offer. The Jets just offered him more. So, a fellow Jets fan, what's up? They be giving Drake May mad dome for one. I agree, bro. It's unbelievable. Let's see how he does in the playoffs. Listen. If Drake May plays great against the Broncos, against the Texans, if he plays good in those games, then I'll give him his flowers. But I'm not doing anything like that yet. The Jaguars are a scary good, right? Dude, the Jaguars played the number 1 seed in the AFC. They beat them by 2 scores. They played the number 5 seed in the AFC. They beat them by 29 points. The Jaguars are a legitimate problem. The Bears are good too. I think the Bears are a top 4 team in the NFC. They have the opportunity to be a top 3 team. It's like, and it's weird too because I put the Eagles over them right now, but they literally played head to head. Why did they take Henry out of the game? I don't know. But they literally played head to head, and the Eagles and the Bears beat the brakes off of them. So it's kind of like, how do I put the Eagles over the Bears right now when the Bears beat them head to head? That's the tough part here. But I think I just trust Jalen Hurts and this Eagles team more in the playoffs because they are the defending Super Bowl champions. Actually, the Browns are the best in the league. Okay, here we go. The Jags win in Denver. In Denver, they beat the brakes off them. A 3-phase beatdown. The Denver Broncos going into yesterday's game were the number 1 team in red zone defense. They were the number 1 team in third down defense. The Jags were over 50% on third down, and they were 4 for 5 in the red zone. Like, they beat Denver at what Denver is really good at. Like, the Jags are not to be messed with. Liam Cohen, I think, is a little bit on the spectrum in the best way possible because all that guy does is live and breathe and die football. And Trevor Lawrence in the back half of the season is playing at an MVP level. I genuinely think the Jaguars can win the Super Bowl. Denver doesn't deserve. No, I don't agree with that. I mean, the Denver, they won 11 games. Like, they beat the Eagles, they beat the healthy Chiefs. Who else? They beat the Packers. Like, Denver definitely deserves the number 1 seed. They won 11 straight games. Like, they're still legit. That was a tough loss. Like, they were bound to slip up one time. Like, I'm not done with Denver at all. Philly getting healthy too. Yeah, dude, they're getting Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter back. The Eagles are a real problem. Like, the Eagles, listen, they beat up on 2 bad teams in back-to-back weeks, but let's not act like the Eagles still aren't a real problem. The Seahawks are the best team in the NFL, better than Denver. I don't really get. They're not better than the Rams. They needed a fluke 2-point conversion that should have never been overturned. Was it the right call? Yes, but the process of how they got to that decision is absolutely ridiculous, and they did blow a whistle. So, like, I'm not taking the Seahawks over the Rams at all. Plus, I trust Matthew Stafford way more, and Devontae Adams didn't even play in that game. I would never put my money on Sam Darnold. I will say this, though. Sam Darnold did get a little bit of a monkey off his back in the fourth quarter and in overtime. That throw to Cooper Kupp was one of the best throws all season long. Sam Darnold is a legitimate baller. Like, you can't dispute that. Sam Darnold is a legitimate baller. And especially the resiliency, the mental fortitude on Sam Darnold. When it looked like the Rams had his number again, they gave him chances and he didn't, and he capitalized, man. He capitalized. So you got to give credit to Sam Darnold because he really did step up in the second half and in overtime and in fourth quarter. Like, he was just dropping seeds all over the place. Chris, a Ludicon legacy game. Do you think Puka's sideshow is going to cause real problems? No, bro, absolutely not. I think the whole Puka stuff's getting blown way out of proportion, bro. I don't care. Cancel me. I think it's the most soft, dramatic thing ever. He obviously didn't know what he was doing. Like, there was no bad intention there. If you can't see that, then you're absolutely delusional. And the guy went on that stream, had all these problems in the media, then had 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Darnold was great in Minnesota last year until week 18 of the playoffs. Those teams that he played have great pass rushes. Like, I don't think it's a narrative that Sam Darnold shrinks in big games. I just think he doesn't play good against teams with great pass rushers. And that Minnesota offensive line was completely dismantled last year for those last 2 games against the Lions, man. Okay, it was the Lions. Who else? The Lions and the Rams, 2 of the best pass rushes in football a season ago. So, yes, Sam Darnold didn't play great, but we saw it again against the Rams team that seemed to have his number. They got after him a little bit, and they were still able, and Sam Darnold was still able to step up with pressure in his face, down a few scores, playing horribly, showed a lot of resilience, and still got his team, took his team all the way back, man. So it was unbelievable. Shout out Rashid Shaheed as well. Phillip Rivers, 275, 3 touchdowns. Highly doubt it. Seahawks didn't have their left, and they didn't have Charles Cross. Yeah, great point. Great point, David Robinson. Great point. You think the Jags can make? Yeah, I do. Devin, is it bad if I believe in Dillon Gabriel? Yes, I would say so. I think Dillon Gabriel had no business being drafted. I think that guy should have went undrafted. Same with Shedeur. If Shedeur Sanders' name was Joe Schmo, he's going undrafted. I hate to break it to all you Shedeur Sanders Glazers, bro. That guy was an average quarterback in the Big 12. Average. Seahawks don't have it. Yeah. And I do think the Jags are legit, man. You can't maybe not win. I do think they're legit. They have a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl if Trevor Lawrence is playing this way. And people forget Trevor Lawrence won a national championship, won a state championship. Like, all this guy did for his entire career was play in big games. Like, he's not going to be afraid of the moment, and he's playing his best football right now. They beat the brakes off the number 1 seed in the AFC in Denver. They really beat the brakes off of the Chargers. The Jaguars are legitimate. They've won 6 straight, 7 of their last 8, and the reason they haven't won 8 straight is because Davis Mills scored 26 in the 4th quarter against them. Looking at the Jets' schedule next year, y'all going like 7-10. It depends if the defense figures it out and if we hit on the quarterback. T-Law didn't lose a regular season game his whole life until he got to the Jags. The guy is a winner. I agree, and people forget that. And he had what, Urban Meyer his first year. Who was the Jags coach? Doug Peterson. Like, Liam Cohen's a legitimate football guy. The Jags are a team you don't want to see the Jacksonville Jaguars. If Sam Darnold stays healthy, he could stay for at least 3 more years, and they should extend him, bro. You're not going to find a better quarterback than Sam Darnold in free agency. And with how good the Seahawks are, they're not going to find a better quarterback than him in the draft. And if he does start to shrink, you have Joe Milton waiting in the wings. Brady Cook burnt ice. Yeah, he stinks. Devin, I'm going to send you an email. Word. The coaches there were bummed. I agree. Listen, the Jacksonville is a real problem. Caden Page shared the live. Thank you, Caden. What's up, brother? Oh, man. Yo, Taven with the follow. Thank you for the follow. Jackson Smith-Njigba, second best receiver in the NFL, maybe the best receiver in the NFL this season. Shout out JSN. Thank you for the follow. Absolute beautician there. Drew Aller to the Jets. Don't say that ever again in my chat. Now, if you want to, that's a one-way ticket to a permaban. Drew Aller to the Jets. It's the best in fan. Yeah, he is. Well, I'm a JSN truther, man. I think top 5 quarterback, a top 5 receiver in the league, undoubtedly. You can argue him as high as 3. Saints, best team in the league, post-playoff elimination. That's not ridiculous. Could the Browns beat the Steelers in a trap game? Is that game at home? If that game's in Cleveland, I think they genuinely could. Drew Aller to undrafted free. I hate that guy. Drew Aller stinks. Drew Aller absolutely stinks. Who do you think will land the first pick? The Raiders, the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a sleeper team to land the first pick. Probably the Raiders or the Giants. What's the Vikings QB future? Look, JJ McDogshit hasn't been playing that bad over the past few weeks. He has not been playing that bad. And listen, he got hurt on a play where they chose not to block. They didn't block Brian Burns. Like, what are we doing? I want the Patriots to hire me. 9. Yeah. I think Browns, not going to lie, are going to get Andrew Tate. Shedeur legacy game. Shedeur Sanders sucks. Excuse me, chat. Giants are sneaky good. They're going to be a playoff team next year. I don't know. Jackson Dart threw for like 25 yards, an interception, and got sacked 5 times. Shedeur is not decent. Shedeur has the lowest completion percentage over expected since week 8 in the NFL, and the lowest EPA since week 12 or since week 10 or week 8 or whatever it is. JETS, what's up, Jack? Here we go with like a just end the season troll or something. Myles Garrett might break the sack record on Rodgers. I hope he does. Aaron Rodgers been balling, bro. You can't he's been balling for the last few weeks. I'm not buying the Steelers hype at all, man. They played 3 teams. JJ and Dart will have those teams as losers until they draft new Q. I don't know about Dart. And I don't know. He will. Miles is in it. Yeah, he's a beast, bro. Listen, Aaron Rodgers played good the past 3 weeks, but he beat the Dolphins. He played good against the Dolphins. He played good against the Lions. He played good against the Ravens. The Dolphins and the Ravens have zero pass rush. Zero pass rush. And if Aaron Rodgers has time, he's going to pick you apart. The Lions do have a pass rush, but their secondary is absolutely eviscerated. And Jalen Carter and Kenneth Gainwell carried in the run game against the Lions as well. So I don't think this Perk Rodgers insanity run is going to last. I think they're in a tough spot here against the Browns. And if they're going to make the playoffs, they're going to win the division most likely. I can't see them beating a team like Denver. I can't see them beating a team like Houston that has an elite pass rush and good secondary to match up with the garbage weapons that they have there in Pittsburgh. I think they're a first-round exit. They scream first-round exit. What is the Jets fan opinion on Rodgers? He stunk for us last year. He had like 5 different chances to put together a game-winning drive. He was like 0 for 5. Like he wasn't clutch whatsoever, and that's why you bring in a guy like Aaron Rodgers to be clutch. He wasn't clutch at all. Greg Zuerlein also sold hella for the Jets last year, their kicker. Who you got? Giants, Raiders. The Giants for sure. What's your prediction for the Jags? Depends on matchup. If they don't have to see a team like Denver or Houston until the AFC, I think the Jags can make the Super Bowl. I'm not going to give a prediction because I think the AFC is so incredibly wide open that it could go a number of different directions. So I'm not going to give a prediction, but I like the Jaguars. I think they should be one of the favorites to get out of the AFC. Thoughts on Dart? Played horrible against the Vikings, but that's a tough defense for any rookie quarterback to go against. Like every time I watch a Vikings game, there's 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. Then for a rookie quarterback to have to decipher who's coming and who's dropping into coverage within 1 second, and then you also are throwing the ball to Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton, it's not going to be pretty. Jets should have given Williams to the Bills. Absolutely not. What do you think about Kane? That was ridiculous. Unbelievable. It was a lot of luck, but some skill involved, good concentration. But that's one of the craziest touchdown catches I've seen. Invite Visar Ducey to join the live. What's up, Visar? Should the Jets trade for McCarthy? No, fuck no, bro. I want the Jets to trade for like a Joe Milton, Malik Willis, Jalen Milroe type of guy. Like a 7th round pick for one of those guys. I wouldn't mind that. Gainwell was buried in Philly he was, bro. He's a stud. He's actually a stud. Jalen Carter and Kenneth Gainwell, one of the most underrated RB tandems in the league. Should the Jets trade for Burrow? Yes. I want the Jets to send every pick they have over the next 2 years for Joe Burrow. But the thing is, on draft night in 2020, when the Bengals selected Joe Burrow, the Dolphins literally offered them 4 first-round picks. That was before Joe Burrow was a proven NFL stud. Now he is a proven NFL stud. I don't think the Bengals will move him. How would you feel if the Jets got Tua? I would not feel good. Perk Rodgers always choke against the Lions. Let's not forget. I don't know about that. He literally threw a Hail Mary against the Lions. Jets trade for Mac Jones. That's a name I wouldn't mind. Like a Jacoby Brissett. If they don't go quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, Mac Jones, these are some names I wouldn't mind. I would like to see the Jets get Miller. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Burrow would command Jets should get Jameis for next year if we don't end up at 2. I don't hate that either. But I think Jameis is going to stay in New York. Jets sign Nathan Peterman. All right, this is where I draw. Opinion on Brady Cook. That guy should never touch an NFL field again after this week. He's great for the tank. He's phenomenal for the tank. What if the Jets get Joe Flacco? Been there, done that. I'm good. Yo, Joe Flacco, though, shout out that game against the Browns in week 2. Garrett Wilson had 2 touchdowns. The Jets touchdown to Corey Davis, onside kick recovered, game-winning touchdown to Garrett Wilson. Electric Joe Flacco comeback. Detroit's defense is so trash for the players. They have they're just hurt. Bo Prabula to the Jets. Not cool. Now accepting applications for gently used baby. All right. The Bengals miss the Super Bowl and make the Super Bowl in 2027. Maybe. Jets sign Joe Namath. Not chill. Not chill at all. What's up, Sam? Sam, I haven't gotten restricted yet. I think I just need to go live on my phone and not on the computer. I think that's the strat here. You're right. You're coming at a bad time because I'm about to hop off. But I love you guys. I'll be live after the game. We're not getting restricted, and that's what we like to see here. We're not getting restricted. That's all that matters. I'll be live.